play on, where everybody played, and it was just a staple of the game by that point. Kind of sad to see it gone, but I guess people will love it again once we get rid of cash. Eternal hope for cash still burning. But of course, guys, we will be having our 9th round start off. AVANGAR, if they win, probably choosing CT side. That will be I guess the logical choice, although we have seen switches to the T side on Cash. We gotta keep in mind, Cash does, in my mind at least, favor T side a little bit. They have fast approaches to certain elements of the map, or more so map control itself, and they can easily dominate that part of the map. Mid control can be established. You boost people up, you put 2 people down, you get out, you know, you get the entry easily. While the CTs, well, they have maybe a little bit of a more defensive perimeter around things, but they can't really move out of anywhere. So if you're able to lock one in a position, you can get an easy kill. But we're already talking about more detailed rounds. We will be kicking off with the pistol, and Kieran, let's see how this one goes, because I think it's an important one for both teams.
Yeah, it really is. Like you said, that T side is sort of becoming more dominant on Cash. Like you said, we've seen out of the maps we've played on Cash, a lot of these teams do prefer that T side. I mean, Chaos took, I believe, 6 rounds on their T side last time they played against Prosto, which, I mean, back when Cash was sort of forming, 10-5 was usually the sort of optimum score you'd aim for, and well, teams are surely getting better on the T side. It does allow that much better angle take with the sight rotates and stuff like that. But either way, we are getting into this pistol round. Chaos, of course, did choose to switch over to that CT side. But AVANGAR, for me, the better force after facing off against North. Navi going 3 maps deep. This is definitely going to be an interesting prospect for this game, especially with Chaos posting some great tier 2, tier 3 results, but never having that challenge of playing with those big dogs on this sort of level.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, AVANGAR, they are only starting to become that big contender, right? They're in the challenger stage. I do predict it's either going to be ENCE or them going 3-0 in the challenger stage itself. But let's wait and see how this pistol plays off. The bomb is being planted, or more so is planted. It's a 4-4 retake. We've got Relax on 4 and DJL on 29. So Chaos is in a bit of a troublesome spot, but it's going to be Rusty that hits the first shot. He's replacing Minio. It looks like it's going to work out. It's still Buster coming through. Ooh, can't hold the line. Rusty with a double. Plesson gets one more beforehand, and Jame in quad is going to be unable to shut down anymore. And of course, allowing Chaos to defuse. But as I was saying, AVANGAR, you know, being in the challenger stage, having performed as they did in the overall qualifiers, and you know, playing through that initial stage, I think they have a very good chance of giving us an excellent performance, as they are just dominating the smaller tier, I guess you could say, teams right now.
Yeah,
even the bigger teams, as you said, Navi, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, they took Navi to 3 maps, and I'm pretty sure all maps were kind of close. So AVANGAR sort of truly proving that they can kick it with these big guys. Yeah, we had we had an overtime in map number 1, which AVANGAR won on overpass. Yeah. We had a 16-8 on Dust 2, which is it's okay. But then we had a 16-4 on Mirage, which Navi just clutched at the last second. So it was a very, very close game, and they're sort of proving they can ride with these bigger opponents. And like you said, that champion or the challenger stage is going to be interesting for the major. But right now, this is sort of I give them this as just practice for the major, if you will. They're coming into this, might even be experimenting with a couple of new things, with Fitch being the most recent addition, but has had decent time in the roster. Grizzon just deletes Relaxer from the top of that wooden box already into a 4-on-5, and with Chaos having the better weapons, you would favor them in this round, but we know how powerful pistols can be, and they don't have much utility, a sincere lack of Kevlar, but if they can hit their shots, they can land the digs, they might be in for a form of success. But as all 4 players, or all 5 players, begin to dedicate toward the B site, they will shift their way through. DJL has to be careful if they do check this vent's position, but with time of the essence, Plesson should just be able to land himself at least 1 or 2 kills. Fitch edging out, but again, a beautiful shot, and as they check into vents, Fitch will spot Prison, who looks to delete. Buster finds again. Freddy Frog luckily trades back 2, but still an advantage with Chaos. Rusty to trade.
Yeah, it looked like for a moment there AVANGAR might have just gotten the upper hand. Luckily, trades came through, and Rusty and Freddy Frog, they have a very advantageous spot because first of all, there's no Kevlars on AVANGAR, and second of all, well, they do have still this crossfire setup, and more so the whole site. They know now one crossed, and well, they're both are already very low T side. That is. Buster, still a beautiful shot, gonna shut down Freddy Frog. That's perhaps a bit of a too fast of a play coming out from Freddy, but it's gonna be Rusty. It's one, unfortunately, Crescent. A very good reaction, actually, because that is how you have to play in that kind of scenario. You can't allow yourself to be isolated if your friend is under fire. You have to help him out. You have to either try and get the refrag, or you're pretty much doomed yourself. So it's going to be AVANGAR returning it with basically an eco. They had no Kevlar. They only had Deagles, as far as I could tell. And, well, it's going to be a full buy round for them, as it shows, while Chaos a little bit lacking in economy, forcing back, obviously. This will be a bit of an A defense setup by them, with having one player towards Shroud, or more so Squeaky, Fork, and Red Box CT. Looks like, though, AVANGAR, this is the smart choice. Going mid and just taking it slow, you know, making sure they cover all the corners, and whatever happens, they can control it to a certain degree.
Yeah, mid control is the best route that you said for this round. It allows these to get deep into mid, up highway, maybe even a rush through CT if they wanted to. But especially against these pistols, Chaos aren't going to face off inside of mid. It's going to be a weak position for them to challenge. So it allows AVANGAR so much room to maneuver. And as they already head down toward this B bomb site, the grenades will go through the smokes into CT. The only player in defense here is Plesson. While he's isolated, there is no support already. Fitch able to finish him off. Down into a 5-on-4. He has been tagged, but there is way too much weaponry here on that AVANGAR side for Chaos to really contest with. And whilst they're trying to spam these Deagles, AVANGAR will get the bomb planted. Fitch even finishes off Rusty through the garage door, just to rub a little salt early in those wounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty classic thing. You see it pretty much in every cash game. You would see people banging those doors, and if you're the unlucky ones, usually you get a bullet in the head, or, you know, multiple in the body. AVANGAR, 5 men surviving. Their economy will be stabilized, and they'll be able to continue forward, or at least build up their economy and start working up that result. Relaxa coming in behind can hit the bullet, but can't hit the head. And it is going to be 2-1, regardless. I mean, it would have been if he had killed him or not. Now, important to note here is Chaos, when we last watched them, when they played against XCOM, they played against Prosto. Obviously, they won. They were able to secure victories, some quick, some very, I guess you could say, close, almost. As Prosto, I think that was one of their hardest games I watched.
Yeah.
I think they battled it the hardest there. They truly showed their maximum capabilities almost, and yet still almost failed. So I think they've got a lot to work around with, but they're certainly a decent team in itself. You know, they have very good personal or individual performers, so they're able to kind of count on that. And above all else, they feel like they're friends, so they're able to work together even if they don't have the perfect team play.
Yeah, the Swedish scene is incredibly tight-knit. They have a lot of like not even like team play, but they just everyone has respect for each other, so that they get on. They know how to work in a team, so it's always going to result in good rosters coming out of Sweden. But we've yet to see a real Swedish team break through that barrier of hitting that from tier sort of 3 and 2 to 1 transition. We saw Existence Galaxy qualify for that DreamHack event. They made it to the quarterfinals, but for me, it's a good result. Nevertheless, but it's not what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that Swedish team that can break through the barrier and really contest, like we saw the NIPs of sort of 2014-15 doing, where they were on top.
Or Fnatic the year after.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I absolutely concur. I mean, they're still considered and still are the best teams in northern part of Europe, but. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Chaos certainly developing. I mean, every little team is working on its own quirks, own things. And Jame, we'll get it back into a 2v2. Let's hold and see how this one plays out. It's an important round for AVANGAR. I mean, they've got enough money to buy if they lose, but they certainly do not wish to afford that. This is a rather eco play from Chaos than anything else, so it would be a shame. And we do see Freddy Frog finding Buster. Jame left in a 1-on-2 clutch round from quad. He's in a good position, but needs to be very careful of the angle as Plesson jumps and gets him. That's a rather difficult shot to make with the CZ because your aim has to be extremely precise. You miss the first 2 bullets and there's very little chance you'll have to hit the 3rd or 4th unless you are able to control that spray down perfectly, which is, again, not easy at all. And a bit unfortunate that it happens like this for AVANGAR. We see this double by played off. Kind of nice. Rusty tried to run away while his teammate died and tried to correct himself. Cost him of dying afterwards, unfortunately. But yeah, speaking of Swedes, speaking of teams and professional teams and such, yeah, nobody has really, I guess you could say, toppled the name of Fnatic or NIP yet. I mean, ENCE is there. ENCE has already toppled them in certain ways, and they're doing absolutely beautiful. But they are not necessarily. I mean, okay, Astralis, if we think of the greater part of Sweden, the great Sweden, right? Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be tough. Chaos though, the lose 2, and it looks like AVANGAR are back in action.
Yeah, they really are. They're kick-starting this round straight away. Already in a 4-on-2, and for anyone in chat who's wondering whose map pick this is the map pick of AVANGAR. Chaos, of course, going for their staple map pick of Overpass. We've seen many times, but I think AVANGAR can be a team to contest that one. And if they do take Cash, which is their home turf, which I'd highly sort of set them up to do, then this should be where AVANGAR take a nice 2-0. And we spoke about this. I think AVANGAR should be a team in this event that goes straight through to those playoffs, pretty much dropping, I'd say, 1 or 2 maps over the course of these best of 3s, especially considering what level they're sitting at right now compared to the rest inside of this league. With no disrespect to them, they're all good in their own tiers, but AVANGAR for me a class above the rest with this sort of talent. Unless, I mean, No Chance is starting to really form as a team now, but they've not really broke through the precipice of being a very established online team yet. It's a mix, it's a puggy mix, but I mean, AVANGAR, yeah, for me, the talent that sits class above the rest. And this one, proving it so far, they will take that 3-2. Chaos will now be into what is a sort of semi-eco, semi-force. They'll have that AWP in the hands of Relax, so they'll buy up the utility AUGs. They'll have a decent buy rounds. 2 players still on pistols, though.
Yeah. This is this is that weird kind of buy, right, where you kind of hope that they're gonna be running into the op and into the Augs, and it just might be the case as AVANGAR is going towards A, and they will be executing this quite nicely, going through Squeaky, going to main. Here we go, but it's Relax at close range, unfortunately too close. Kicker is able to get the refrag. It's Freddy Frog is holding from heaven, but another double refrag as Kicker gets the second. James holding the line. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade again. It's basically trading 3 players left and right. It's back into a clutch moment here for both teams. It's DJL and Pleasant with 100 HP. Meanwhile, James is looking down the barrel of death, and we do see Kiekert is holding on default. But again, this is a tough spot for AVANGAR. They've got a lot to check, a lot to clear off if they want to get off the site. And well, for the moment, it's Kiekert back in the 1-on-1, unfortunately. Pleasant, a 3k will be held in his hand, and that is going to be Chaos tying the score, making sure that Chaos is not, or more so AVANGAR is not going to run away with the result. And as you mentioned, yes, exactly, AVANGAR, I mean, they made it to the challenger stage. It is no small feat. It is like QB Fire or Quantum Bellator Fire when they made it to the challenger stage and even into the next stage afterwards, right? They were, it was a sensation, and I hope AVANGAR are able to translate that into further accomplishments and not just, you know, finish on the challenger stage or just getting into the legend stage, but able to actually do something more than qualify for it, right? I mean,
yeah,
I think they have that spark in them that we've talked about so extensively in the last few best of 3s, where, you know, it just feels like they know what they're doing and what they want above all else.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for AVANGAR, a team that really have no scene in their home country, I think it's a great way for them to break through and to give their country support to get behind, for the fact that, you know, Sweden's had their big teams. They've had the NIPs. They've had the Fnatics. We've seen a lot of regions where teams have been predominant. They've had very good success. But AVANGAR's a team sort of like that QB Fire of the previous major, where they made it to that legend stage. It's a team that has come out of nowhere, gained massive support, and now they're sort of kicking it at a decent tier. But for me, AVANGAR is one of those where they're still a little shaky with online opponents.
Yeah.
They have quite... It's weird because you see teams you know, like your G2s, your who else can we think of?
Vitality?
G2s, yeah, Vitalities that they go to lands, they do absolutely incredibly, but they still have these aspects where they struggle to compete with online leagues. So I think if they iron that out, they're going to become such a big contender. But on lands, AVANGAR, like you said, they've been playing very well. They still have that online presence, though, which I think is vital for them because that's where they built up their success. So AVANGAR this time, they'll take that 4-3. Chaos will now be reset again. AVANGAR winning sort of vital rounds to really offset the economy of Chaos here for the fact that they did have that buy round, but they'll be now down to a force once again. I would have preferred an eco, but I think a couple of players did have $1,400 or so. So there's really no point of going for that eco. AVANGAR should be able to make a 5th round here on the T side, get themselves a small little advantage moving into that next buy of Chaos.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. They will force it if they want to make sure they have that that firepower in hand, even though they know it's a double eco. They want to have the chance of victory. They can certainly do it. DJL will be caught, unfortunately. This is a bit of a mishmash play coming out from Chaos. If you force, you have to work as a team. You have to support each other's plays. Otherwise, you'll be looking... yeah, forgive me there. You'll be looking at a very, very quick end of the round, and that force goes for nothing or goes to nothing immediately. Kieran, please take over for a second.
I got you, man. I got you. So I hope everyone chat's doing well as well. It's quite a lot of you here today, around 1,400. So let's get a couple of predictions. Who are you guys thinking in this game? And more so, who have you guys gone for your major picks? Because I've yet to do mine, but I'm gonna sit down when we have a day off in a couple of days and go over some of the major picks. But who have you guys put as your 3-0? Because that's going to be interesting.
Thanks for asking. I actually put AVANGAR currently.
Ooh, really?
3-0. Yeah, I put AVANGAR on the 3-0 spot, and I put Vici as the 0-3 spot. So
that was mine as well. Yeah,
that's my choice for the moment. I would say though, ENCE is looking like they could be taking it 3-0 as well. So I think I might put it on ENCE. I'm not sure yet. We still have a few days to decide. But I did choose currently AVANGAR. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's a decent pick. I think AVANGAR could definitely, depending what side of what opponents they get, could stomp that 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
I'd put them up against even beating teams like Cloud9, like Vici, like you said. Maybe even kicking it with Windstrike. I think they can take those out pretty easily. So yeah, I'd definitely say if they get the right matchups, that 3-0 could definitely come out for AVANGAR.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. In either case, Chaos is going to have an eco as well. They're not really looking too sweet right now. That force buy didn't do any sort of magic or any sort of change for them. It is going to be making 3 players on B and 1 player in Superman, if I'm seeing it correctly. That's actually a great setup, and this could work out for Chaos. That's 2 players in Superman. That's a 5-man stack. Excuse me, I was completely confused for a moment. It looked like on the minimap that he is like next to Heaven, right, in the entry watching CT. Yeah. Or is he? I'm still not sure at this point, but in either case, AVANGAR have read it. They'll know what they're up against, so they'll turn back towards A, clear it out, and make sure they get the round regardless with minimal losses, or if they do lose anybody, they're able to keep the weapons out of the hands of the enemy.
Yeah, and with this round being that Chaos Eco, they should rotate. As soon as that bomb's planted, just try and get an all-out rush through CT, at least try and grab 1 or 2 rifles, but AVANGAR shouldn't be giving them that opportunity. Bomb will go down. They've realized the site is completely clear. And Chaos at this point, as a CT slide, there's really no reason to send Relaxer or Freddy Frog in. They'll have that Kevlar for the next round, so I'd say for the point of just keeping it alive, the CTs do get that money bonus for surviving. Unlike the Ts, where if you survive in a round that you don't win, you don't get any money, the CTs gain bonus, nevertheless. So it's not worth sending a death in, especially to lose that Kevlar like Freddy Frog has just done. It's a waste of the money they could have kept, or just a piece of equipment to carry into the next round, but AVANGAR should begin to clean these guys up. Prison again with another double in this round. Into that 5-on-2, AVANGAR will make themselves a 6th. Good round from them so far. We'll now see a buy from Chaos. I don't believe we'll have an AWP in any player, although we should see a huge amount of AUGs. But match pause for now, I assume TAC from Chaos's side.
Yeah, looks like a bit of a problem. Hopefully they'll resolve it immediately. Speaking of maps, speaking of the fact this is cash, I don't think we even mentioned it, but AVANGAR did not play Cash against Na'Vi, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Obviously, you know, it was banned by Na'Vi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's like default mostly.
Like the first ban they did. So, you know, kind of sad to not see them play against Na'Vi on Cash. But against North, actually, AVANGAR were able to pull a 9-6 half. And I think it speaks for itself when you can win against a team like North. And yeah, sure, they have their own little kind of mistake, or more so, a little bit of quirks here and there, which they need to fix and work on. Regardless, what I meant to say basically is AVANGAR, they excel at the T side in general on almost all maps they play that are their kind of primary map choices. And Cash is a map where they really excel best because they're so methodical, they're so strategic in their sense that they support each other wherever they go. You will never see one player alone without having a possible refrag or some support thrown at them, like a pop flash or, you know, maybe a smoke molotov, whatever you want to call it, to help him take that part of the site. And that's what I love about AVANGAR. If they play aggressively, they play together. They try to help each other and they work off as duo teams. Now we do see a bit of a split into Squeaky and into main. This is a bit dangerous there, but obviously they have a bit of a lead. They can afford a few more momentum breaks if they want to. We see Keekert's playing so aggressively into main. Freddy Frog has actually boosted Relaxa to spot into main. This is a brother's boost.
Yeah, they've got the synergy going there. I do like that angle, although it's probably one that the T's will first see as they swing, but it's interesting. Oh, nice pop flash, but a little too late. Buster. Oh, beautiful adjustment. Can't take a third, but DHL is incredibly low either way, and Fitch, he'll have no issue with dealing with him. Already into a 4-on-2, and as well, these rotates haven't even been called from Chaos. I think it's wise for them to just save at this point. Oh, yeah. AVANGAR will lock down that B site, but Keekert, he's going for that hunt. I like that they make sure... Oh, hang on. Spam coming in from him, but I like that they make sure that Chaos, even though they get complacent with the save, AVANGAR will keep them on their toes. They try and take away these rifles. But again, a very good start from AVANGAR. Locking down that B-bomb site was very good from Buster there. But this T side, like you said, they had a 9-6 against, was it North, I believe?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're proving how good they can be on Cash, which is always good to see. But with Vanguard now 4 rounds in the lead, 2 players surviving if Chaos make that one player as James shuts out Freddy Frog is going to be very bad for their economy. Relaxer will at least trade 1, but he won't survive for long, and that's good from AVANGAR. I love that they go and hunt, keep 1 player on the site, send others to make sure those weapons cannot be saved, because AVANGAR, that shot was such a reaction shot, it was great. Yeah, but AVANGAR making sure that they have that economy set back from Chaos, and look, you can see on that T side, $12,000 on many players. So this is going to be really hard for Chaos to get back into this. I could even expect 11-4, 12-3 half at this point. Why
not? I mean, AVANGAR, when they last played in this tournament, it was against Havu, and they destroyed them 16-4 and 16-7? Or was it 16-6 and 16-10? I'm not sure. Something like that. Basically...
yeah, I think the latter, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 6 and 10. But basically, it was a very quick game, very... fast ending, and AVANGAR had no issues finalizing. That was before they went to the Ice Challenge here now in London, yeah? In this during
I assume they're still there as well.
Yeah, I would probably think so as well. I mean, they traveled for a few hours, so I wouldn't, or more so than a few hours, probably travel for like 6 hours if they're from Kazakhstan, maybe even more. I mean, 6 hours, you know. Overall, how long you need to get from the airport to actually getting home and
it's a whole
setting up
travel,
for a play. Exactly, like it's a day that you waste. Exactly, yeah. But speaking of a part of it, it looks like DJL is going to respond. He does lose Pleasant, but Freddy Frog for the second. This is excellent as James gets taken down. Okay. Now Chaos is starting to bring something on the table. They're actually able to contend with a full eco. Wow.
Yeah, surprising they won that. For the fact that, like you said, it was that full eco, but I mean, good play from Chaos to hold down those particular angles where pistols could prevail, like checkers inside of vents, the angles that are most annoying for a T to deal with. But great eco round that will get them so much economy, so many weapons saved off of the back of that. The AWP carried over as well, so very nice result from Chaos in that one. Does now take us into the 12th Well, we'll see if Vanguard, of course, they'll be able to afford a full buy. They had $12,000 before they even purchased, so it's simple. But Chaos, if they can make, I'd say 5 or 6 rounds, then it'll be a very good end to that half, considering how strong Vanguard have looked to open things up.
Oh, absolutely, and I think they could make it back, but this round is the most crucial of all. They lose this, that's it. This half is pretty much, you know, 3/4 gone. We do see a double up, as you said, and we've seen it before. Train is one of their maps that they prefer to play double up on, and they excel at it. Relax and Pleasant are going to be wielding it, obviously. We do have one up at car. No, actually, no, he's on site. Yeah, apologies, and one up at B, but look at the entry of AVANGAR. They're going to be going A, and they're not really getting too much done. Buster gets Relaxa, but Rusty's there still to refrag. Holding from quad, might get to find one more. He does, and that's going to be an easy kill. It's AVANGAR to lose players, and they're losing them quickly. The Molotov getting thrown in quad, but it's not going to help from MBK now. Relocated. Rusty gets a free kill. Quaker Jane return, but Pleasant holding the line for DJL. Quaker, or Keekert, excuse me. Very quick to react. It's a one-on-one battle with 30 seconds left. Enough to plant. Pleasant. He could still potentially turn it around, but so does Quaker. They both have ops. Oh, but okay. Well, I'm not sure how Keekert did not have enough time to plant. Did he relocate the plant, or?
Yeah, he went for the sort of main plant
yeah,
to that box, but then went into default, so
that's weird. Like, just go straight for it. You know, you don't have that much time to relocate the plant. Unfortunately for Chaos, excuse me, for AVANGAR, they're not going to be resetting Chaos, but at least, you know, they do massive economical damage with 4 kills. They forced them back on the brink, basically. This is almost 0 money left for Chaos in the bank, and they can't afford to lose this round yet again. Beautiful boost, though.
Jame, yeah, nice little. We've seen that a lot, actually, that AWP being boosted over. It's so simple yet so effective to pull off. And DJL, he will trade back pretty quickly, leaving Ika tagged down to 68 as well. But a nice little 1-for-1 trade. Rusty will catch Fitch off inside of vents. Maybe a little too complacent as he shifted on through there, but already into a 4-on-3. Chaos battling well here, and I'm liking the fact that the Vanguard, they've been shook. They're slowing down entirely, making sure that they can get themselves back into that right position. But, oh, this could be perfect. If they put a boost up while a Vanguard is on the rotate, this could really catch off a player.
I mean, this is the deadliest part of it all. Crescent, he's spotting it, but he's not ready for it. I mean, he's watching main, not boost, and, well, it's Freddy Frog for a free kill. Falls back down, or not really, just trying to hide from view of AVANGAR, and looks like Keekert and Jame have a very difficult task ahead of them. Perhaps if each get 2 kills, I mean, it's going to look like it's going to be easy, but with 30 seconds left, they have to make a decision. And I'm not looking, or more so, it's not looking very nice when they split up like this. Of course, it's not easy for Rusty, as he loves snooze. The only Swedish thing, basically. Nobody else does that Swedish special. In either case, Keekert, it's going to be a 1-on-3. Planned down in a battle for survival. He can pull it off. He certainly has the capabilities for it. Finds the first, it's Rusty. Finds the second, now it's a 1-on-1. Keekert, it's a triple. Yes, it will be. It's a 4K. My God, that hat trick in the end. He saves it all. A one-man show. And he does not like snooze and still gets kills. That is going to be an 8-5 as Chaos are reset. A great performance by Keekert. Wow. Chaos
Beautiful.
screwing it up the most, though.
Yeah, you've got to say, there was a couple of mistakes there, especially Freddy Frog sort of not timed the nade correctly. If he'd have supported sort of the first player that swung, I think it was Rusty, I assume, he could have definitely traded back there, but still, if it works out, it works out, and Kika, beautiful 4K for that round, and puts Vanguard over the threshold of at least securing victory in the first half here. They'll, again, be able to reset Chaos. Like we mentioned in that previous round, they've shut down their economy to pretty much a low extent. They have a single MP9 relaxer. Underneath boost. Forced off. Kika, he's on fire now, you can tell. Giving no room for survival. He shuts out 2. Rusty will find 1. Luckily, he's able to get himself an AK upgrade, but Jame is on by lurking. He can hear the footsteps as he fades away, but Jame has such a rotate. That's so much info given to his team as well that there is going to be that one player trying to support from highway. But I love the fact that AVANGAR have drawn every single player out toward this A site while the bomb is not even pushing. And as soon as DGL gets caught off, that should be the sort of push to say, now we can go A. They have that one player in highway from Rusty. He could cause a little bit of a disturbance if the smoke wasn't down, but it is. he can reposition onto the site, it might be a little bit more successful, but Crescent will shut down Pleasant 1 versus 4. Another beautiful round here from AVANGAR.
Yeah, and with 4 players surviving, they just established their economy back on top and secure pretty much ending 10-5 of the half, or at least close to 10-5. I mean, 10-5 basically. It is going to be statistics drawn out. We do have 88 grenade usage against 172. Okay.
Yeah, that's
quite a stark
an insane
difference.
stat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's crazy. A crazy amount of grenades actually being used in favor of AVANGAR. And Chaos. That just shows how difficult of a buy-around system they had, basically, because you know, they do buy, but they cannot buy 4 grenades. They can buy maybe 1, 2 flashbangs, a smoke, and that's it. And even then, that's already going to be a lot. And we do see now the last round of the first half. It's Buster who goes sneak through the smoke. He finds one. Oh my God! The spray down almost catches DJL as well. James has got on mid. Meanwhile, Fitch is trying to kind of tap it away through the smoke, and he still gets it in the end. It's Freddy Frog. My God, Fitch, a smoke kill as DJL. With the support, I think it's Rusty next to him. Yes, it is. Of course, he's kind of thinking.
Oh, the bait.
Yeah.
That one player shooting draws Rusty for the peak. That's beautiful.
That's perfect team play in this case, right? That's support. That's how you want to play rounds like that, or positions like this. You use another player to basically draw a possible peek in while you're ready for the second player, or more so the one guy you know he's going to be looking to take a kill. You get a free kill, and AVANGAR, they make it look easy in the last 2. And it's not even about Chaos making too many mistakes. It's simply put AVANGAR playing so well together, working off of each other, as I said at the start of it all. And their performance against North proved that they are very good on the T side of Cash. Even their CT side wasn't that shabby. We're about to find out if Chaos are able to kind of contend. Can their chaotical play, I guess, actually contend against AVANGAR? Because this is a team that's actually properly constructed with a lot of practice, with a lot of training and all that good jazz. And it's not going to take it's not going to take, excuse me, it's not going to be easy to be able to win against them. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Of course, welcome back to our second half. It's going to be the pistol starting up of, well, the first map between Chaos and AVANGAR. This is the Loot.bet CS League Season 1, and we are looking at the closed, excuse me, not the closed qualifier anymore, but the main event itself with the round-robin stage. And right now, the pistol is ensuing. It looks like AVANGAR is going to have 3 players for the defense. Make it just 2, actually, turning back around. It is going to be 2 players holding and taking their time in approaching. Actually, the 3rd player is back. Okay, fair enough. I guess that works.
Yeah. You're going to have that 3-man B setup, which Chaos, if they're not careful, they're going to walk right into the trap. They do have a single flashbang to assist when they go for that peek, but Prison already gathering the info. Won't really get any frags, to be fair, but he gains so much more in the form of information for his team. DJL gets outsmarted on the site. Fitch will find one, though. Looks to reply for a second, but a beautiful cleanup of the pistol for Chaos. That is something they're good at. Pistols. They've got both so far in this game, I believe.
Yeah, they are. They are. They really are good at the pistols, and they're able to contend so well. Those headshots coming in like they're on butter. I mean, it's like it looks like it's so easy for them. But as I was saying, the thing for AVANGAR is, sure, they lose the pistol. That, you know, it's nothing special to lose the pistol. Basically, it's nothing to be worried about. It's just a round that is basically favoring the team that's going to have the most players at a single point. And if it's going to be Glocks that's going to be rushing you on Cash B and you're not going to be hitting the first 2-3 shots, if you miss like 1 or 2 shots, you might already be dead, basically. And it's as simple as that. Obviously, you can hide a little bit longer, try to call out or more so play a few angles away, but in the end, it doesn't change the fact that you still play against Glocks, and that's 20 bullets against 12 with, you know, faster fire rate, or more so a more easier fire rate and magazine capacity to deal with close call or close range engagements. Again, we see Chaos will take this one rather easily, obviously, as it is an eco for AVANGAR, which I do like to see. It will have a full buy next, so that's always fun, or more so enjoyable. But as I was saying about the CT side of AVANGAR, right? They are a team. They practice. They prepare their team play, their strategies, their answers to certain scenarios. Obviously, the IGL has basically on-spot solutions, but he also has some predestined, predetermined scenarios, at least in certain cases. You know, what happens if this, then that, basically, and they make a few scenarios like that. And in that kind of scenario, that's where they excel best, because they automatically already know how to return back into a formation that works best. And what I mean by that, again, a good showing was how Chaos won that anti-eco race. It's basically no Kevlars and only pistols. AVANGAR, the only reason they lost basically was because they did not play as structured as they would have otherwise. And on any other round occasion that we saw them play, they had everything set up. They had two-man squads working as a tandem team against opening locations, or generally speaking, when they went onto site, they equally supported each other going in and going out, and they were able to survive with pretty much anything they were put up against. So that's the biggest difference. Chaos, meanwhile, they do have that availability to them to play like that, but it's highly unlikely they're going to be playing like that consistently.
Ooh.
And Jane, very dangerous to play like that. Still gets the shot, still gets the kill, and is able to get out of there scot-free.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he saw if the first player on the event sort of walked past his crosshair, but didn't spot. Don't believe. James does get instantly traded back, though, and we'll begin the ace hit for Chaos. Beautiful frag from Freddy Frog. Chrism will get traded back by Rusty. And now into that 3-on-2. Buster needs to at least take down one quickly while Fitch is on the flank just to take away the distraction. Relaxer sitting close, I believe, underneath forklift. But it will allow Buster to, or Fitch, sorry, to come in from the flank. He only has a Mag 7, so prefers to take the squeaky engagement rather than going through main. I think it is a smarter one to play. It's a closer angle. But it looks like they're actually backing away. Don't want to go for the interaction. Want to save the 2 rifles. It gives Chaos a very solid start here on the T side. And like you were saying, Chaos, they do have that sort of opportunity to bring in that team play. But Vanguard, for me, like you said, the much more the seasoned team, the much more practiced team. And I think James has done well to bring that in-game leadership to Vanguard. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, like, maybe 6-7 months ago, his time in the roster was sort of uncertain. I'm pretty sure they were going to trial a couple of other players, but coming back into the roster has been a very, very solid addition. Yeah, I think he was pretty sure he got replaced by Ramzik for a time. Oh, and then returned back to the roster in, I think it was like May or something before a bigger event.
That was like just after 2018 New Year, basically. Just after New Year from 2017. Yeah. That's when he was replaced, like in February, March, and then for 2 months he didn't play for them. It wasn't something like that, was it?
Yeah, I think he returned back like early in May or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that period. AVANGAR, they had a rough time back then, but they were able to grow into this shining star they are today. We do have a bit of a pistol buy here from them. I'm not sure if this is a full investment by Kiekert and Chrism, but it certainly looks like it, at least for the most part. It's still going to be Kiekert that gets Pleasant out, and it's going to be a great start for AVANGAR if they can continue building on this momentum they started up. This is now the ball rolling in their favor. They could potentially turn it, well, even more favorable for them. Fitch with the Max 7 close range B. They should be rotating back A. I'm not sure why they're contesting B so much, or more so why they're putting all 4 players, all their baskets in one corner. This is where the Max 7 can prevail without much issue, and you can leave him isolated to play for his own, wishes. And look at this. Oh, Rusty's hold was just enough to draw them back onto site. No, AVANGAR is rotating, but this is now the play that has to happen here for AVANGAR. It's all eyes on Chrism. He needs to shut down 1 or 2 players in order to have proper chances of winning. I mean, he has support coming in from cars. Chaos is taking a long time, but DJL, good shutdown. And the site is theirs. This is where AVANGAR shouldn't be able to get the site back in their hands. At least not on paper. The AK should be superior, but Buster, good 1 kill, a 2v3. There is a chance that actually AVANGAR can still get back into this. The bomb is not yet planted.
Still plenty of time to do that. It is limited. Keycut running straight on through. Does get taken out. Not sure whether Relaxer spotted that second player cross, although he switched out to a better rifle. Fitch won't survive either way. Game left in a 1-on-2, and we'll just choose to save the M4. So, Chaos, they are right back into this now. They're battling back. They're only a round away from tying the scoreline. And like you said, it was kind of a full investment from Fitch at this point. He spent the majority of his money, so it's going to be dangerous to buy in the next round. I assume we'll see that double eco, but that does give Chaos a great opportunity.
James should be able to drop him. He's got an M4. He's
True, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, luckily there, Fitch will have a drop available to him. So all good there. Saving in runs like this is very important. So James shouldn't be in too much of a troublesome spot for himself. That should be a drop to Fitch, no problem, of course. So, you know, it's still going to be a good buy, a very decent buy. They're going to have a lot of utility, a lot of firepower available. And we see Buster, 1.3 KD. Kill death ratio, doing very good open kills. So the opening kills he did are 4 currently. Not exactly the best result we've seen so far, but certainly not the worst and certainly not bad at all. And it is going to be Chaos that's going to be playing a bit slower this time. They take control of main, and doesn't look like they want to boost and take mid. I think this is something Chaos has shown us in the past. The last time we saw them play Cash, they did not play mid control as well, or very rarely actually went for it aggressively, as they know how hard it is to take it, or at least how much you have to commit for it. And we do see that the bomb is still kind of lingering in useless. Looks like they might be actually ending up on B itself with having a bit of a fake out A.
Yeah, there is an AWP locking down this B sort of cross, though. Have to be careful for that. I'm pretty sure they'll have a flash to assist them, though. But right now, like you say, Chaos not really a team that do go for that mid. I mean, if it's not a strategy in your textbook, I'm pretty happy they don't try and make it one. Like if they have little experience with taking a coordinated mid take, you know, with the player on boost, helping the player to shut down sandbags, close off Z. If it's something you can't really control, you're not really comfortable with, I'm glad they don't try it anyway, because that's what can really open up a sort of weakness in the team. But they are very strong here with these sort of site takes. Buster, I'm liking the aggressive stance he took with the AWP first. It shuts out Plesser, meaning there is a man less for this B site execution. The final 2 players of Chaos will begin to join the rest of the team as they push into this site. Buster, he'll hold down all day long, though. Drops the bomb. Rusty in the defense. He's trying to go for the peek and trade back a kill, but gets onto the site. Buster, that's smart. He ensures that he takes out at least the first frag. Relaxer shuts down one as well. You have to collect the bomb. There is a defense from inside of heaven, but in a 3-on-3, there's no time, surely. Did they get that on the last tick? I believe they just caught it. They did. And that is lucky AVANGAR. They were going for the save. They were backing away, and they do have to swiftly turn around here. Fitch is getting ready for the push through toward that lower position. He does have the support of a flashbang. Beautiful info gained, but no frag to find, and down to a 3-on-2.
That was a bit of a poor choice from AVANGAR. Why would you go with one man through CT and not have another one push heaven? That's always an important choice to make. You have to have you have to hit from all sides at once if you want to surprise your opponent and actually take the retake back in your hands. AVANGAR, they'll be tied up as Chaos are fighting the tide. That is AVANGAR, of course. Chaos suing Chaos everywhere. Make Chaos, I think the slogan for them is make Chaos, right? Or
it is, yeah.
Something, yeah, make Chaos, yeah. So they certainly are suing Chaos. They're doing a good job. AVANGAR a bit confused at moments. It seems like they're, you know, kind of turning around in the nick of the time, even though not knowing the bomb could be planted or not. I guess they hoped that the bomb can't be planted.
Yeah, they hoped there was a mistake from Chaos.
Exactly. Of course, they were close enough to still be able to retake, but I'm not sure why they went so fast for it. I mean, the bomb had just been planted. So there was no reason to immediately try and take a kill or a refrag back. But it's going to be a 5-on-5 full buy on both sides. AVANGAR is a little bit limited in that regard. They've got 2 kits, so that's good. A little bit limited on Molotovs and smokes, but they've got an up on Jame, which is important to note. Oh! I think he tried to fake out that somebody's in sandbags. He did. Oh, that's amazing. I like it, actually.
Oh,
Very
that's
smart choice.
smart.
Yeah, now perhaps Chaos, once they do enter mid, if they do enter mid through Heaven and down low, they might be looking to sandbags while he gets a free kill.
That's actually very wise. Like you said, that smoke drops in the Molotov pretty much like assumes for Chaos someone is there, but I mean, right now they're sort of anchoring their play back towards A site and forgetting about the mid control here, which will allow Jame, if he does rotate, to be able to hold this highway position with that AWP. They do have a man at car as well. I assume he has the AUG, which he does in the hands of Prison. But Chaos right now will begin to push toward this A site. I love the boost above this smoke. It gives Freddy Frog an angle to peek with the AK across the corner of the edge of the smoke. So I'm liking that sort of angle. You can see it does provide quite a bit of insight to the quad position. Still, Fitch somehow not burning. He was able to push himself safe inside the molly, giving himself an angle to not peek there. Yeah.
That's a bad molly. You have to throw it from quad so it bounces into MBK. Otherwise, it doesn't cover the final corner. Well, Fitch gets 2 kills. That's the result of having a bad Molotov. Freddy Frog finds 1, but he's burning. Also, he's dying. It's James to finish it. And James to clean and find 11 rounds on AVANGAR. Close call, though, gotta say. Chaos, they came relatively close to breaking AVANGAR. If that Molotov had been true, if that Molotov had actually flied perfectly into MBK, it would have been a free kill on Fitch, and most likely he does not get those 2 kills, at least not both, and Chaos might have a chance of victory. Instead, it's the other way around. It's going to be another buy, but we see AVANGAR's lack of economy. They only have, well, 2 FAMASs, 2 M4s, and that op still standing on Jame from the last round. But look at this presence on B. By God, they truly are gambling on a B take.
They really are, and Chaos have made no signs of going towards B. Yeah, I do like that Chaos have gone into that default, and they've lost a round. They're like, you know what, we'll just reset ourselves, set up a default, make sure we have most of these angles covered. Rusty will look to aggress inside of B main. We have Buster inside of vents. I do like when a player is boosted into vents, although it is sort of a widely checked angle these days. But as of right now, Chaos making noise quite a lot across this map. Buster gets tagged down to 5 points of health as well. That is not a good start for him. I assume he was caught in vents by this mid player in the form of Pleasant, but who knows where that damage came from. Still, 2-man stack inside of the mid position for a Vanguard. Chaos will now begin to collect that bomb. They have plenty of time to head towards this A site. They've set up their default. They've dealt some early damage. This should be a nice way for them to entry into the A site, especially with Pleasant pushing through toward this mid position. He has a nice angle to catch off Jame, and he does. All day long, a position like that will favor him as with the angle of surprise. Chaos completely U-turned, heading toward the B site. 2 players in defense. 25 seconds on the clock as Chaos go for the push.
Yeah, Fitch overextends his welcome, or more so overextends his peak, but it's Kiekert with a double buster with 1 more beforehand. As Kreesen was able to just kind of survive a little while longer. I mean, he should have been alive longer, but instead it's Buster. 5 HP, a 1 on 2. Most likely a save. I mean, there's no chance he gets this one back, as with 5 HP, Chaos would have an easy time dealing with him. Okay, that's a funny little thing he did, because he opens and closes the door. There's a bug in CSGO. I presume it's a bug. I'm not sure, but basically there's something. Sometimes you can hear the doors being opened from like halfway around the map. Basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you're like on mid, or for example, I'm in vents or I'm in sandbags or something like that, and you can hear the doors open of squeaky. It happened to me before, at least in Faceit, you know, so I would presume it's a bug in CS or some sort of a weird, you know, sound
Yeah,
issue.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, like, I don't know how... That's the same way you sometimes hear somebody dying in your headphones, like you got headshotted,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That kind of thing. I guess it works for other things in the map as well, or for the other elements of the game. So they have to fix that hopefully as soon as possible. But in any case, AVANGAR, it's going to be an eco. The op on Jame had been saved up, or more so from Buster to him.
Yeah, and right now this is Chaos's game to take over. Have that eco on that CT side, which should result in Chaos making 11, although Jame could provide some form of advantage with that AWP. Right now, Chaos, they should have assumed that, or read, of course, that it is going to be that eco round, and they will sort of dedicate themselves toward this A site quite early with that one man just holding the rush, making sure no one can push from B. But all members of AVANGAR, even including Jame with that AWP, are going to be picked sort of fixtured on this A-bomb site. Yeah. Rusty from Squeaky, the rest from main. We could even have Pleasant boosted over. I'd like to see that to anchor the highway position, but as of right now, we'll see most players just heading into, yeah, the main and Squeaky split. Still, Jame will take out a first. This will now see the rush of the rest of the players. Pleasant, nice trade back with the AK, but already a man disadvantage. They will look to retrieve weapons on the CT side. Kika takes out Freddy Frog, and that will cause an instant rotate from this Chaos 2-man setup.
Yeah, DJL and Pleasant, they've got AKs, and they do have time on their side, at least for the moment yet. But they're going to have to make a choice very quickly, and it does look like it's going to be a B choice hit, as we have DJL still standing on mid big box, or more so big hut. Kind of waiting for his chance on roof more so. Pleasant comes up, Buster and Keekert. They make it clear, they make it fast, and they make it simple. It's going to be AVANGAR with 12, and it's going to be Chaos onto an Eco. With 3 AKs, or actually they can have 4 AKs to be bought, but they're going to be lacking 2 head armors, which is not a very nice thing when you go up against FAMASs or any sort of MP9s or something that is not a one headshot kill. Pleasant, 0.88 KD, a little bit slow for the start. He's been the one, though, doing a good job at it throughout the entire map already. Meanwhile, DJL and Relax are the ones that actually are a little bit of a slower slowpoke themselves.
Yeah, and right now, it is a Vanguard that can offset this pace. In Chaos, they look so good at the start of that T side, but if they can get broken by a Vanguard, even 1 or 2 rounds is going to really favor the CT side. I mean, they can take away this one. Most likely, Chaos would be down to that Eco. We can see on the, I have the HLTV money sort of scoreboard open. They have like $50 in the bank. So this round vital for Chaos to win, to stay alive, but it's as simple as you like. Pleasant left inside of mid-vent. As soon as he gets sound info, he should be dead. Trades 1, but Kika there to refrag. 13-11. Simple round from a Vanguard, and Chaos will now be down to that Eco. A chance for a Vanguard to push to close out the sort of final few rounds required in map number 1.
This is starting to look a little bit dangerous. As you said, it's going to be 1 round left for AVANGAR to go to map point once the next buy comes in. Obviously, enough firepower in the hands of Chaos once that buy comes through to potentially win it and to potentially turn it around. They've made comebacks from worse positions before. I think we have to keep that in mind. So certainly they're no stranger to being able to draw it back into their hands and win it in the end. But AVANGAR, I think they're a whole nother beast to deal with, and it's got claws you don't anticipate until the very last second. And right now, we see AVANGAR has that up on Jame, as he had it throughout the entirety of the CT half and, you know, sometimes on the T half. I love the fact they're consistently playing on Jame as the entry as well. They keep him as the element of surprise and the element of death in their hands, because he's running around the map and just looking for kills everywhere. Literally, yeah. He's on mid, looking at down mid, up mid, you know, going anywhere he can to get an entry. Then he goes to peak B, goes back towards A, and again, just such a diverse player that brings so much potential to the entire round that it's crazy. DJL, though, nice shutdown. It is going to be Chaos that gets an entry, if nothing else.
Yeah, and like you say with Jame, I think with him being the in-game leader, he gives himself a lot of free roaming across that map, like you said. Like, yeah, he can have such a variant of his plays. At one time, he can be Car, the next he's, you know, aggro B main, peeking through the edge of a smoke. It gives such an element of surprise, and I think with him setting the strats, he sort of has confidence in himself to trust the rest of his team to run these strats while he looks for these picks. And he's, with him being such a good fragging in-game leader, it gives him the element to do that. And well, as we can see here, Vanguard, they're just beating down their opponents, deleting them from the server, and with minimal time left, DJL, although he did get 1 kill in this round, will not gain anything else. 14-11. We will see that rebuy coming in from Chaos. Now, though, they'll have plenty of cash to do so. Fitch will even... Oh, DJL just luckily survives at the end of that there, but a beautiful play from a Vanguard to not get overwhelmed by these pistols. We have seen rounds where pistols have overwhelmed in this map as well, so Vanguard just staying calm, making sure, getting the job done. 14-11, a round away from at least securing overtime. Chaos will look to battle back here.
And I think in the mind of AVANGAR, it's not overtime they're going to be securing, but certain victory. It is going to be 14-11, and so far a good a good start by AVANGAR for the first map. A little bit of a slow start, but at least they're able to, you know, draw out that advantage in their favor. Guys, I'm kind of reading about Buster being the IGL. I actually...
Yeah, we got baited by Wikipedia.
Yeah, we got baited, although... I wouldn't be surprised if they have a double IGL setup, you know, a bit of, I guess you could say, advanced calling, or not really, just simply put, something that almost every other team does. They have one primary IGL that's calling most of the shots, and then they have, you know, 1 or 2 players that kind of help out with supporting calls and such. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually makes the job for the IGL much easier, because sometimes he cannot spot something that because he's focusing on many other things, right? But let's hold and see how Chaos play this one out. It's gonna be Rusty that gets the entry. Good refrag from Buster, keeping it at a 4-on-4. It's on site. Fitch though has to hold the site. It doesn't happen. James from short. He's being locked out by smokes. He needs to get the hell out of that position. He's gonna be too limited if he's gonna stay there for too long. And we already see him pulling towards Z, most likely going towards Scar in the end. And yep, that's exactly what he's gonna try. DJL. Oh, he's gonna have such a perfect spot, and oh, he's gonna see James. He's gonna get him even though he spots him, or more so watches the angle. James gets eliminated. Buster gets one. Keeker is lost, and well, Buster, even with a double, make it a triple overall. Not really gonna happen for AVANGAR. 12-14, and it looks like AVANGAR is not gonna have that lucky of a beginning, or more so a continuation.
Yeah, I mean, that round really offsets the pace from AVANGAR. Chaos very well to break out into A site, and DJL, that lurk play to close out Jane from Car, I think was what won them the round, because Jane would have been able to sort of bring themselves into that hold from CT. Chat's so confused right now. I think chat's more confused as to we are who IGL's AVANGAR. There's so many names flying around right now. But either way, let's skip over it. Chat, calm down, enjoy the game. We're getting into some great Counter-Strike. Still 14-12. We have that full buy in the hands of both teams. Double AWP setup on the CT side. Buster and Jame is the regular setup we see with Buster on that secondary CT AWP. However, with Chaos now again heading over toward this A bomb site. Fitch should be looking to reposition towards quad right now. If he can stay safe, he has that smoke to put out the... He doesn't have a smoke actually. I thought he had smoke to put out the Molotov, but he will have to just force back. Make sure he can keep safe on the site, but already early info gathered. Beautiful grenade to deal around 80 damage across 2 players there, and it does keep Fitch considerably low. I do love the fact that, again, DJL is going for that rotation sort of lurk anchor play through that B bomb site. There is a player watching it. He can find at least 1 kill that could draw the attention of AVANGAR away from this A bomb site. Buster, he's posted, he's ready. Rest of Chaos slowing things down entirely. 35 seconds left, no bomb yet collected. 2 players inside of main, but no real sort of surgeons towards a site. Jay, beautiful.
That is what you would expect, although perhaps a bit of an overextension. He already got 2 kills. No need to search for a third. I mean, just fall back, you know, get a bit of a safer spot and try to play from that point forward. Therefore, AVANGAR will lose B site. Bomb is already be taken there. Fitch will be caught in CT. And
the time.
Yeah, the time is... Oh, it's enough. It's enough. They should... Yeah, they have enough time to plant. It's up to Chris. And he... Oh! Chris! Oh, Chris, and the bomb is still planted, though. Jesus, what a round. He's going to hold it. Molotov is going to burn DJ alive. Oh, my God. Krisen. Okay, Krisen, my boy. That is beautiful.
The only way he got that was the fact that the AWP was scoped into heaven, so didn't see him push through CT.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, the thing is, the bomb, I thought initially it might have been not planted because he killed both players, but then I realized, oh damn, it's actually planted. Saw him throw the smoke. I was like, ooh, that's not good. That's not good of a smoke, really, for CT. But then had a Molotov. He locked it out, and a beautiful round. Krisen saves it for AVANGAR, leaving Chaos 3 behind, and well, to win 3 in a row if they want to make it out of this one. It is going to be map 1 slowly coming to a close, and oh, the timing of Buster. He waits and he listens for the reload, and he gets it perfectly. Buster even sees Pleston drop down. It's going to be a commitment to B, perhaps by Chaos. They already lost 1 player. Pleston's committed as well. Second coming in to support it. Krisen still holding the line. And it looks like it's not going to get any easier for Chaos. At a 4-on-3. Rusty, close with an op. Not a very common scenario, but Keeker... Okay, that's the bomb drop.
Yeah,
That's the bomb drop.
that's game over. Surely 4-on-2 with Rusty deep in checkers, one player in Squeaky. There is very little opportunity for a Vanguard to lose this. I mean, even Pleasant, he rushed straight out mid early, got that first kill onto Jame, but the rest of Chaos just sort of fell apart. Relaxer, Desert Eagle in hand, 40 seconds left. No time, no hope, no dreams in this map. Chaos will drop the first to AVANGAR 16-12. Beautiful play from the Kazakhstan team. And I'm looking forward to map number 2, where Chaos have their staple pick of Overpass.
Yeah.
Yet they're coming against an AVANGAR undefeated on this second map here. Look at the grenade stats there as well.
Yeah, there's like 200 more grenades being used by AVANGAR. Again, it just shows how much of a presence they made on their own T side initially, and how much economy from Chaos they were able to basically put down and allow themselves to not play against as many grenades as they would have otherwise. And it speaks a very nice story here, or more so a storyline, where AVANGAR are so well aware about their actions and how the economy works. You know, they can afford for some aggressiver players, or more so quicker paced plays, when they know what rounds they're up against, or what round they're up against. And it shows, it truly does. Chaos, they lacked a few things here and there, but overall I think they played very well to keep 12 rounds against AVANGAR. Is no small feat, especially on Cash. That hasn't exactly been Chaos's best map in the past. It's fair to say that they've performed overall acceptably well, I guess, given how we saw them perform in the past. And going on to Overpass, given that this is their favorite map as well, there could be a chance I might be seeing a possible 1-1, but there's a long way to go there, and AVANGAR, I think we haven't seen everything out of them just yet.
Yeah, me neither. I think they have still a lot to show us here, and maybe